What's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? We got some great things to cover today. Let's get it. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. I'm your host, Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, I can guarantee it's not going to be your last time. Stay through this entire stream. We've got some great stuff we're going to be doing with the charts, a little touch on the news, but we're going to be looking at what's going on with these levels. Price action looked like it was going to break down. We see price action actually pushing up right now. Is it a trap? This is what we're going to be talking about and look at some levels going on, because today is a huge day, or historically it has been over the last 2 years, regarding these FOMC meetings, and we're going to get some chop around all these levels. So as all of you are here, we got more likes than we got people in the room. So big love to each and every one of you. We got some things we want to talk about. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. This stream's going to be a little shorter today. I'm ending right about noon my time, which is about 25, 30 minutes from now, because I got to get on Spaces with Mario Nawfal and some other folks there talking about the market. So what are we talking about today? This right here. Look at what's going on. We got this key level right here, this rising support level that was lost. Earlier this morning, I tweeted it out and posted it in the Discord, talking about this level, especially right here. This is where I saw a rejection coming in, and then this sort of weakening right here, but we got a little bit of an explosion higher. This is what we need to discuss, and we need to have these discussions with ourselves too when we're looking at the chart. We don't want to see this and go, I got to get in, it's about to go up. You want to get in when all the data says, hey, we agree, confirmations here, data supports it, price action is also agreeing with all this. You want an agreement between a confluence of different signals, so you don't get involved in this only to buy at this point right here to have this come back down. And you don't miss a move. When this is moving up like this, you didn't miss it. Maybe you weren't prepared. You just say, what's the next setup that I can prepare for, so that you can engage with the chart in a meaningful way and you don't just get triggered by your emotionality of the situation. We also see, if we come out of this chart, we also see on Quant over here lost this trend line that we have, right? This is essentially a symmetrical triangle. A little bit of, I wouldn't call it a bear flag, because this portion of this pennant here, there's no sort of flagpole into it. So it's more of a symmetrical triangle, which can break either bullish or bearish. And we did break bearish out of this. And look at this, we've come up, we came back up into this zone, this trend signal line right here, got rejected, came back up into it, getting currently a little bit of a rejection again. But what we're looking for when we're looking at all this price action on these different altcoins, on the Bitcoin, on any of these different assets, even if you're trading stocks, all this data, all these strategies work the same across all these different assets. If you can chart it, you can use TA on it, technical analysis. Now, what we want to watch for is, what does the data say underlying? What is it suggesting about the confidence of a trend? Let me say that again. When you're trying to take a winning trade, what you're looking for is, does the data suggest something different than the narrative that's happening? If price is pushing up, but you see money coming out, it may indicate you need to look for some other signals that might also be indicating weakness is coming in. So it prevents you from jumping into a green candle only to have it reverse. Now, if price is dropping, but you see money flow starting to come in and the strength starting to rise, but the price is dropping, maybe you need to look left on the chart, zoom out, see if there's a certain area or a fib retracement area that you can identify as a potential reversal, and then take your shot based on the data, not on the price. That's what this is all about, making sure that we stack the probabilities in our favor. And that's what we talk about here at BitLab Academy on a daily basis. So with that being said, getting back in here, what does the data say here on Quant? It broke down. We're getting a little bit of a push up, but we still have this purple band right here, this purple band on the BitLab trend fuel. This is saying that this is money flow, blue and purple. This is negative money flow, showing money coming out, meaning there is a drought. Now, do plants grow in a drought? Not necessarily. They tend to wait to get watered, and then you get an explosion in price. What we see right here, boom, explosion in price right when this flipped. Right, this is right where it flipped a little bit right here. We got a little bit of a move up, a little bit of consolidation, accumulation. And then once it's flipped back bullish again, look at this, boom, pop to the upside. Now what we're seeing here, we got a breakdown from the zone. We're bouncing right in this $102 to $104 range, but we still have negative money flow. So this is the kind of thing we want to look at all the different assets we're looking at. One of the things we got to look at, not SCI, it's still holding in this range we talked about yesterday, but I will say before we move on, I want to show you some stuff on XRP. I will say this move to the downside, a little bit of a W pattern here, could be very bullish, but as it stands right now, this move pushed up into this trend signal line, got rejected, and now we have we essentially have a shooting star candle followed by a doji candle, strengthening the idea that there's a weakness in the bullish narrative here, indicating that we are either going to chop a little bit, test back down a little bit lower, or potentially even break down and test down into this zone right here on SEI. Now, what we want to talk about here, we got some big news regarding XRP potentially getting hacked. I think it was like $100 million or something drained, or 100 million tokens, I don't remember. A large amount of money moved out of Chris Larson's wallet. Sparked a little bit of fear here. Now, we talked about this yesterday or 2 days ago. One of the last 2 days, we were discussing on this chart with XRP the potential of this testing down into the high 40s, low 50s, high 40s. And this is, we're on the daily here. We talked about this somewhere, I think it was somewhere over in here, somewhere in this range, potentially testing down into this. And this is exactly what we got. Now, there's a little bit of contention between the bulls and the bears because we did get this big move to the downside. The big move to the downside from the bears was immediately eaten up by the bulls. You see this, you can tell this by understanding the what candle structures. And in this case, we have the opening of this candle. We still have 7 hours left on this daily candle, but this candle opened here. Bearish candles open at the top and close at the bottom. So this opened here and closed here. And within the time frame of this candle, we see price action also pushed up into here, all the way down in here. But from the open to the close, this is where this is the trajectory of this daily candle. Where we're at right now, we can see the bears really took it down. A little bit of forced liquidations there, I'm sure. And then bulls defended this territory, brought it right back to the upside. Now, I see we got people rolling in here. I see all the emojis popping in. We got the lab rats, we got the chickens, we got the space cats, we got the bullish symbols and muchachos. I love each and every one of you members that's here. I appreciate you. You got the BitLab beakers filling up next to your names there. I see you. But the point with all this is when we're looking at XRP, if we zoom in at this, put it on auto, this is a key level. This blue line is a line that we've been watching all the way since back here in March of last year. And we see that this really kind of bounced within this range. And then boom, that huge news that we got with the SEC and XRP, that ruling in favor of XRP, this move pushed all the way up where exactly to this trend line that goes all the way back until December 2020. You see this? And this marked right where we reversed from, came back down, and we're seeing some weakness in here. In fact, this looks a little bit, I won't call this a head and shoulders, but very similar. We got sort of shoulder structures here, large move to the upside, and then a weaker move. Is this indicating we're still due for a potential move to the downside? We have to pay attention to this because if this were to be the case, I don't think this is going to happen, but let's map it out. If this were to be the case, something like this would suggest we're coming down into the high 20s, 26, 27. Now, again, I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case, but we have to watch for as this is rolling over. You see high, lower high. Now we're testing here potentially to even test this low right here, which is this range low, which is about 46 cents. If we lose 46 cents, I do think we're likely going to be testing down into the high to mid 30s on XRP. Now, we also have to contend with the fact that the news that came out about XRP over the last 12 to 24 hours does cause a little bit of speculative bearish narrative push to the downside. But we have to pay attention to this candle. We do see that the bulls did defend this area. So while we did map the area lower that it could go to, let's also look to what's going to happen if this is all they could do in terms of the bearish price action. What happens if this gets, eaten back up, which it has, and this candle, this is on the daily. Let's get down to the 4 hour. We can see even on the 4 hour, see how quick that was? We still have negative money flow, but we have the stochastics coming down and bouncing right here. We see the last time they bounced right here, we got a little move up. We see when it bounced right here, we got a pretty large move up. When we see it bounced right here, stochastics coming all the way down, RSI coming all the way down, bullish divergence here on the momentum wave, and we saw this kind of worked its way up a good amount. So our question is going to be, if this does reverse, and this is looking like it's a little bit of a rounding bottom here on the 4-hour on XRP US dollar pair, if this does take out this trend signal line right here and this 20 EMA ribbon that's kind of all, they're all grouped together right here. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So if we're able to take this zone out, 51, 52 cents, then we may be making a run to essentially test this zone right here, which is this range low and this range high, which there's a little bit of confluence in this area, 53, 54 cents. If we can break through that, we may be making an attempt to push higher. So although this felt so scary, especially if you're on a smaller time frame, look at this, even on the 24-minute, very quick, eating back up. So as it stands right now, and look, we have a bullish divergence here. See this low? Higher low, lower low. We have a lower low, higher low. So there's an increase, there's a bit of underlying strength that is suggesting a potential bounce right here, and we are getting it. The question is going to be, can we take out that 51, 52 cent range? And if we can't, then we can't even talk about higher prices. Now, I do have a couple other things I want to go over really quick because I think we're going to get some chop today. So before we do that, I just want to, again, welcome everybody as you rolled in. My name's Kelly Kellum. Welcome to the BitLab stream. If this is your first time, let us know. Get involved in the community chat here. Where are you tuned in from? Everybody, I posted it on my wall as well. If you come over here on my Twitter, I should say, I did post this. Good morning. If you're a person that was in Bitcoin and crypto before the institutions, like and comment your born on date, meaning what month and year that you got involved with crypto. I'm going to randomly pick. If you want to come over to my Twitter page, this is a tweet right here. Boom. Come over here, like and comment this. And I'm going to randomly be picking somebody today. I'm going to just send right over through PayPal or Venmo, $25, just as a little bit of a giving back to the community. I'll randomly draw a name from this at 5 p.m. Eastern time today. I'll let you know. But it's curious to see how long and how old and how new there are different people in this space. Because we have to remember, as much as you may have been learning, there's people in this space that are still trying to figure out what the hell a candle is. And there's other people that are quiet. They're silent lurkers here on these streams that may have been in longer than I have, maybe back to 2013, etc. And it's good to know these things so we can reach out and share our stories and learn from each other. So coming back over to what we want to talk about today, right here, we have the FOMC meeting today. I expect there's a little bit of a chop in the market right here where we had the sell-off. And then we had a little bit of a rejection and a break back into the zone. What zone am I talking about? It's this zone right here. See this trend line right here that we've been bouncing off of. We lost it a little bit. Currently, that was a little bit of a bear trap. But if this pushes up and we see this impulse large, this next impulse a little bit smaller, if this cannot break this range here or get back above this $45,000 range, and we're working our way up towards it, if we lose steam in this region, I still think there's a pretty strong possibility. Remember, if we lose this range, that we come back and we break back to the downside and test down into these regions down in here. This would be an excellent target if we do start breaking down this 35.4 region, the 1.618 from this move, the extension to the downside, which is perfectly in line with this rejection right here. See this rejection right here? And then all these bounces right here. It's right in this zone. This is something that I want to hold as a bull if this is going to pull back and just give us a little better opportunity. If we lose this, then I do think we're going to be going down to that $31,000 to $33,000 range. Now, I'm still very bullish. As it stands right now, there's no signal. As it stands right now, there's no clear signal as to what's going to happen because there's no telling what during this FOMC meeting. It's not just the fact that they're probably still going to pause. They're probably not going to cut. That's kind of, I don't want to say a foregone conclusion, but that's the kind of understanding of what people are feeling about what's going to happen right now, looking at all the models and then everything. Now, what we have to pay attention to, where is the thing I just highlighted? I highlighted it and it disappeared. It's okay. Essentially, what we're really looking for today is what is Jerome Powell's narrative? What different words has he had in every one of his FOMC meeting speeches, his press conferences? Is there going to be different things left out this time? Are they going to discuss potential rate cuts in March? Are they saying it's not? Are they going to hold the line and say it's not going to happen this year? The speculation around what he's going to say is also driving this chop in the market. So we have to pay attention to this price action right now and realize that this does not mean it's just going up, up, and away. If we get down to the 24-minute, we can see this is already losing steam. And where is it losing steam at? Right in the midst of where all this chop was. So we want to pay attention to what's going to happen. There's speculation to the downside, trap, speculation to the upside, and a lot of time on these types of days that have economic impact on markets in terms of these talking points and press conferences and rate decisions. We get, more often than not, this price action movement where it goes like this. And then it decides from this point if it's going to go up or go down. It clears the liquidity to the downside. It clears the liquidity to the upside, trapping people here, only to then come back to an equilibrium and then make a decision about what's going to happen. This is what we need to be careful for today. It's not as easy as saying, oh, we broke back above this line. It's about to go up, up, and away. Shout out to Crimson Caravan, gifting 5 memberships. Big love to you, my friend. New members in the house. Museum Corruption. Gregory Ranson. Friends, can't read. Gregory Benson, what's up? Eric, Rob Ella. Reigen Gangot, baby. Ruzba, what's up? Thank you to all the members that are here, and thank you to, welcome to all the new members. Now, coming back over here, we do look like things are trying to move around and they're going to shake about. Currently, let's look at this, pushing up. We need to clear this range, and we see on this range here, when we pushed up, we got locked in a little bit at this level, chopped sideways. And then once we broke free from it, now we're locked in kind of chopping at these lows and these highs. Where we're at right now is a very important decision point as to what narrative is going to take over. So I would not be concerned with trying to catch every one of these moves. In fact, I would actually encourage against that because you're more likely than not going to get chopped out. Now, when we come back over to here, we got the Jerome Powell thing coming on. I think it's at 2:30. 2:30 is the decision usually, and 3 o'clock is when the press conference is. And I could be mistaken, but it's around that, a little bit after this stream. But we have to pay attention to what's going on there because we also see, on a bullish note, yes, this is bullish. 5 countries joining BRICS, prompting new world order. This is one of those things. The idea of the US dollar being the world reserve currency is at a high contention point right now with the US holding it standing in that regard. Now, this also, I think, is going to start leaning in to a broader use on a global economic level of how Bitcoin fits into that picture. When you have so many different countries coming together in some sort of economic alliance, nobody wants one to have more power of the other, and they can do that through currency. Now, what's a currency out there? What's a monetary policy out there? Let me ask you this. So all these countries coming to BRICS, is this good or bad for Bitcoin? Or is this good or bad for the US dollar? When we think about where the world's going and we see these economic alliances happening and growing, kind of starting to push the US dollar hegemony to the side, what asset out there can be agnostic to all individual governments so nobody has more power or control over the other by manipulating their own currency? Bitcoin is the only asset out there that is agnostic to all central governments. This is something that is very bullish for Bitcoin when we see stuff like this. This is actually good for Bitcoin. Yes, it sucks for the dollar, but hey, we're in this because we are trying to step outside of the system and grow into the future, right? So with that being said, coming back over to this chart right here, we also have this other, U.S. Treasury confirms debt interest. The spending on debt interest is now larger than the entire defense budget and will soon surpass the entire Social Security budget. These are, yes, this feels bad economically for what's going on with economy, but let's all be honest. This is one of the reasons at least I am. I don't know if you all are. It's one of the reasons, even if you don't care about economic stuff and monetary policy, and maybe you just want to trade and be in an asset that you think is going to go up. Looking at this kind of data suggests and shows, it highlights this other system that is a hedge, or it's outside of all these issues and controls and manipulations that we see in the traditional finance world, especially when we're talking about government currencies, aka fiat dollars, Canadian dollars, bolivars, pesos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bitcoin is only getting more of a singing, resounding, just trophy of being the asset of choice that people are going to start looking to. And the world is becoming more and more aware of all this. Now, we're still, when we're looking at the key levels here on this chart, we did come down and test this. I do still think we are going to come down and test into this region. Why is this? Why can't I just be a bull and think it's going to go away, push higher from here? Because when we look at what goes on in price action, if we come out here to the 3-day, when we look at what goes on in price action, we have this is the 3-day chart on Bitcoin. Looking at this last macro top, we see this push up, break down. We have a higher low, higher high, push up, higher high, higher low still, but this impulse is much smaller. Now we have another much smaller impulse, but still higher high, higher low, much smaller impulse, but now we get a lower low followed by a lower high and then a breakdown. So this happens time and time again in these markets. So when we're looking at where we're at right now, this is on the 3-day, what we're seeing here, let's go down to the 12-hour actually. What we're seeing here is a push up with consecutive higher highs and higher lows, larger impulse, higher low. We're kind of in a range here, but then we finally break up higher high, higher low, higher highs, followed by now, look, these candle bodies much lower. What do we get? A small rebound, rejects at this trend line. So lower low, lower high, and then breakdown. Now, what we're doing where we're at right now, this is that move where on the more macro picture, we pushed up, but now on this more macro look, we got that lower low. We need to retrace back up. And this is why this level is so important. This 43,800 through 45,000, which is essentially this trend line right here. We want to be a hawkeye on this zone right here, because if we get rejected anywhere in the zone, this is fulfilling that lower low, lower high, which would be an indication that this is going to have that continuation of the downside. We talked about it yesterday on the channel. It was this. What chart was it? This chart right here. So this A, B, C correction, the C wave to the downside, typically, almost always comes down and breaks below this A wave to the downside, which would indicate at minimum a test down into the low 38s and more likely coming down somewhere between, somewhere in this region here. Now, I'm still very bullish, but there's some work that has to be done before the full bull is realized. Now, when we come back over to, we talk about this right here in the BitLab Premium Discord, Corduroy gives a great breakdown of what's going on over the last month, the monthly breakdown of where we're at. Look at this range that we've been in. We came down and bounced essentially on the bottom side of this value range, and we're kind of coming right back up into this EMA and having some trouble. Look at where this region is. This high comes into right where these lows and these highs are. So we really haven't done anything yet to really be screaming bullishly about. Let's not get locked in to looking just at a 30-minute chart or a 1-hour chart. Let's look at the context of what's going on in the market. Similarly, I talked about it in the Kelly Alpha channel here on BitLab Premium Discord, and I was talking about this right here. This breakdown, this was looking like it potentially could get rejected, which would be a confirmation of the breakdown here and continue further down. Now, very shortly after that, and I was basically giving everybody my thoughts on this, very shortly after that, we broke back above it. Does this mean this down move is invalidated? Currently, this looks like a trap, but we have to watch what's happening in this range, because especially with so much interest out there in this market, people are going to be looking for any opportunity to buy at lower prices, especially these institutions. So let's be vigilant right now. Let's pay attention to what's going on with the FOMC meeting later today. And by the way, I just wanted to shout out to everybody here. Make sure you check out decrypted.tax/hit. Great offer that they have going. Make sure you stay ahead so you're not going on the last day trying to do your taxes. They have all, they can get you all integrated with all the different wallets and different exchanges you have, and make sure that you're tracking everything like you need to. Maybe you'll get some money back, put it back in the market. So make sure you check that out, decrypted.tax/hit. And then, of course, if you want to learn more about how to read these charts, break down what's going on with candle patterns, understand on-chain analysis. All these courses have individual lessons that are 5 to 12 minutes, on average about 9 minutes. So every topic is very split apart so you can break this down and understand. And by the way, shout out Green Day Profits, 5 BitLab Academy memberships here on the YouTube. Big love to the new members. I believe we'll have a new emoji tomorrow. I'll have to look, but I think so. But welcome Rodney Cowden, Ninja Forth, Jay-Z, Crypto Rican Soto, Crypto Rican. What's up? Crypto Rican Soto and Mark Dutch. What's up, Mark Dutch? Let your boy Tino know. We got to get him on this channel. I'd love to have him share some thoughts and love on here and talk about some of the stuff that he's got. And again, by the way, if you look at the pinned comment at the very top of the BitLab chat, the live chat, there is a link there. This is a special deal that we're doing for some of Josh's community that as he's moving over here, but I want to share it with you guys too, just because I love you guys. The link is in the very top of the BitLab live stream, the live chat. Click on it. It is this right here. You can get 30 days free trial to just the Discord. And then after if you sign up for that, you can cancel at any time. It's free for 30 days. After you sign up for that, then there's another option where you can get the full bundle of everything we got for the lowest price we've ever offered. So take advantage of this while you can. This is only going to be running for a very short period of time. You guys have access to that in the top of that live chat. But with that being said, I got to run because I have to go hop on a Spaces with Mario Nalfal, and AJ and I are both going to be on there. I look forward to chatting with him and talking markets. I hope you're all doing well. Make sure you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. Join us in this wonderful community we have. And with that being said, I got to run. Hope you all have a good day. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Tomorrow will be another live stream again. A long one. Sorry about the one going short today, but we got some stuff to do. Big love. We got Ninja Forth, $9 super chat. Big love to you. I appreciate y'all. Before we go, let's do a roll call while we got the screen still up. I want to see everybody. Are you buying? Are you selling? Are you sitting on your hands today? I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you to Crimson Caravan and who else was the other one that did that? Ninja Forth for the super chat and Green Day Profits. Big love to all of you. Let's go.